like a vegan protein. I had pea, hemp, and rice. And that was my mix. Only about 25 to 30 grams. And everything else I had a bunch of like maca powder, some like bacopa and stuff. I mean, basically some herbs to get me more normalized than I felt from doing all this other stuff in the last couple years. I just didn't feel like I was right. I'd have some carb, like maybe some oats or something I'd usually throw in that shake. A bunch of like fish oil. If I didn't have fish oil, maybe a handful of almonds. And then I'd have later omelet with onions and a bunch of peppers and stuff, like a lot of veggies. As much veggies as I could. I would even like juice, like throw a bunch of, you know, all the vegetables I possibly could in a juicer and just drink that.
I recommend juicing instead of Pop-Tarts, actually.
Yeah. But you know, just trying to get as much micronutrients as I possibly could. So yeah, sugars, I really didn't care because it wasn't making me fat. You know what I mean? The type of training,
fruit.
Yeah, just from the
not candy.
sugars. No, exactly.
So you're eating pretty much organic?
A lot of organic, like we talked about before. There's some things I'm like, you know, if I'm gonna peel it, the only thing I think about the skin, yeah,
for example.
They're not gonna be the pesticides. But then again, the only thing I'm thinking that might, you know, there might be pesticides or herbicides that the plant's growing out of. You know, so, but I don't, that's too much stress for me. So my whole thing was the last couple of years is to de-stress myself. So that was like better quality sleep. Not easy with a newborn, you know? So better quality sleep.
But when you do get that 2 hours of sleep, you better make sure it's deep.
Yeah. So like I would take some stuff, you know, some herbs and stuff that are good. I like the stuff called Relora. I wouldn't take a bunch of stimulants. I tried to lower my caffeine and only have like green tea through the day. I would get like the maca root I liked a lot. Rhodiola for a pick-me-up instead of all the caffeine. I would have that. A couple other things, but not really. Ashwagandha, I like that. But anyway, the de-stress stuff. You know, there's little things that I can't bother with that I know that I can't control. I pretty much like get it out of my mouth.
Okay.
You know, so you know, with the new business and stuff, and trying to, you know, I can't worry about if people are gonna miss here. You know, it just drives you nuts. So I'm like, okay, well, so I misses. I'm gonna train, or I'm gonna do something, or I'm gonna plan out the next moves. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna do a video, something like that. But back to diet.
Always progressive.
Yeah, just, you know, just trying to focus instead of just sitting here and worrying. You know, because people have so much like.
So stagnation is mediocrity. I've always lived by those words.
Yeah.
You don't want to remain stagnant. Stagnant, get mosquitoes, probably get herpes.
But like diet, I'd go like home. I'd have some. My dad's a bow hunter, and we have so much deer. So I would make, you know, the deer. That? I give some.
All right.
I get some. I mean, Kentucky bow hunted deer.
Nice.
But anyway, like I would make chili with that, and deer's super lean, so I would put like a good mix of fats in it. I would put some. It's weird, but a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of mac nut oil.
Mac oil.
And I wouldn't cook it too long. I'd put that towards the end so it wouldn't break it all down. But anyway, a lot of vegetables. You wouldn't tell it. You know, just like celery. I would put goji berries in it. Cherries, because deer are like sweet. It just brought out the sweetness. Lots of onions. Beans. Those are the carbohydrates in there. Some beans. Lots of fresh garlic, chopped up. You know, onions, peppers, all sorts of stuff.
You make that in bulk.
Make it in bulk. Have 1 or 2 meals of that a day.
Nice.
So I mean, I have this pot of chili.
How many meals do you eat a day?
Back in the last 6 months, it's been anywhere from 4 to 6.
Perfect. Okay.
So I was doing kind of like a little warrior diet type thing. You know, the intermittent fasting. That I think really changed my energy levels. I didn't lose any strength. I was still lifting, but now I wasn't training on a bodybuilder. You know, I was running on, basically I'm sure I was in ketosis for a while, you know, until I have that real big meal.
Especially with your activity level like metabolism.
Yeah. But I tried that for a while. I just like testing different things. It seemed to be fine for me.
Okay.
I didn't recommend it to a lot of other people. You know, they can try it out for themselves. But I got back into when I started thinking, okay, I might do a show. in a year. I might do a kettlebell competition. I started eating more food. I mean, through the day to have more higher energy levels because, you know, training people. If I was at a desk job, I probably could have done that and then worked on, you know, my, you know, pre and post workout nutrition. But, you know, if I'm showing you stuff and I'm showing him stuff and I'm showing her stuff 6-7 times a day,
yeah.
I'm not sitting on my ass. You know what I mean? I might have to flip the tire a couple times. But anyway, so I started eating more spaced out foods. I still haven't really worked for that, like that pump. You know, if I added a bunch of carbohydrates, I'd probably put on a couple pounds and look a lot more swelled up.
Okay.
But my biggest thing right now is my energy levels. So I'm trying to fine tune what I feel like by eating instinctively. And that's when I put that in there, and it came up with like 33%, you know, protein, fat, and carbs. I had no idea. You know, it was like the handful of almonds here and there, it all just added up. It just seemed like I wasn't timing anything. You know, post-workout, I'd probably have a little bit more carbohydrates than I normally would. Breakfast, I really don't have a lot. I don't wake up cranky with low blood sugar. I feel fine when I wake up eating protein and fat. So it lasts, you know, a couple hours, and then if I do a workout, then I'll put in some carbs and stuff after that, and then towards the end of the day, if I have my favorite time to work out is opposite of you. I like working out at the end of the day.
That's when I work out.
Oh, I thought you worked out in the morning.
The only reason I did that was because of starvation.
Okay.
I mean, and now I'll train in the morning when I have to.
Well,
I absolutely have to, but I hate it. Because what I found is things change, and as I got older, I'm not using age because I'm not old by any means, but I'm not 19.
Yeah.
And when I was in my mid-20s, I'd get up, train, and I'd be good. Now, my body takes some getting used to. In fact, I always do 10 minutes of warm-up. I usually do 10 minutes of step mill, then probably about 10 minutes of lower back holistic stretching. If you've ever seen Dorian Yates Blood and Guts, he does the lower back stretches. Same thing. No static stretches because, well, they decrease strength. It's been scientifically proven, and because it doesn't really do much for me.
I just do a lot of foam rolling, a lot of joint mobility.
You got me hooked on foam rolling a year and a half ago. So I've been doing that ever since, and basically working on flexibility has been a big part, because when I came in here I was about 5 pounds less than I am now. But as you can tell today, I'm much more limber than I was. And I'm bigger. But you can never tell because the way I'm not moving like I'm muscle now.
Walk around like that.
Well, it wasn't because I had invisible lat syndrome.
Yeah.
It's because I was just
tight.
And because it was new. I mean, I really focused on growth. And I grew. Just like if you were to get ready for a show, you change up a little. For me, it was a change. My body was like, dude, how do I move? All this new crap. So it took some getting used to, but you know, I'm comfortable now at 220. So I'm comfortable, but you know, how much are you weighing now?
Right now, between 198. I mean, I check maybe once every week, every 2 weeks. 198 to 202 to 200. Comfortable at that. The last time I was 200 was, you know, 4 years ago, and all I had was plantar fasciitis and puffy walk around. I hated it. So I focus on that. Do a lot of mobility work, and especially with the kettlebells, it keeps me stretching. So if I'm doing a snap, instead of just like, you know, say someone's just doing a straight press, you're just stuck there. Well, I'm moving through.
Yeah. And that's all flexibility.
Yeah, it's not going to work if you're not flexible. And that's what I have a lot of guys and ladies that come down to me. The first thing they do is like, well, I can't get there. I'm stuck here. It's not because they can't get the form. It's because they can't get into the full movement. So they're stopping up here and doing a snatch, and it's like right out here, throwing it right back down. Just really short, you know, almost quick movements instead of the smooth and slow. Like I do more competitive kettlebell type lifting. That's why it's the really smooth endurance-based stuff. But then when I take that, you know, I'll go the other way. Like I'm still wanting to work for strength. So if I'm doing heavy barbell stuff, I might do shoulder press, and then instead of having somebody, you know, like a push press, instead of having somebody spot me from behind, well, I'm just going to jerk that thing up, take the negative down.
Kind of
Jerk
like
it up,
a good
take it
old-fashioned
back down.
Arnold cheat code, except in a cool little way.
Yeah.